Calling you a radical, perfect spot for this video because everybody recognizes it now from this beautiful, all my videos, you know how beautiful this spot is. That's not clouds. That's not clouds. That's not even smoke. It's dust. The molded grapes of wrath, as I named in 2011. All coincidence. The new Dust Bowl, Utah. But I want to get back to the war. This is important. This battle at the steel mill. Stalin's real name is not Stalin. That's the Russian word for steel, Stalin. STEEL-GRAD, which was not far from their Volgograd. The Battle of STEEL-GRAD is so similar to this. You know, Hitler's Nazis and Hitler's Germany had Russia beat, but it was a small group that had hunkered down in STEEL-GRAD still. And they're like, I mean, he had a circle, they bombarded it out, and they hunkered down. This steel mill was built for this very reason. These underground tunnels and networks, World War II, the ruin. I've been over there. All through Europe, there's all kinds of underground stuff because of World War II. People lived in bunkers. People forget how bombed out all of Europe, and especially Ukraine. The resistance is always there. It's amazing. It is history repeating. It's incredible, the history. It's absolutely incredible. Let him declare victory. He didn't win. Bombing out buildings and destroying buildings doesn't work. Hitler proved that. You know, he didn't win. He sure leveled a lot of cities in Europe. You know, Kiev, thank God, still stands. One of the most beautiful ancient cities in all of Europe. The architects take your breath away. I don't think people have any idea how historic this is. And I want to make sure that I brand it in history. You know what? The Battle of STEEL-GRAD. You know, he wanted to be Putin-grad. He lost. Look, it got shown early on in the war that his soldiers are conscripted and they're not well trained and they're not all in. They're not willing to fight hand-to-hand combat. I mean, when he shifted this artillery to just going after civilians, and I want this to be branded in history, the United States, the whole world let Putin do this to Ukraine. It's disturbing. Okay, I get it, you're NATO, you're Article 35, I get all that. I agree with all that at first. But not when he started indiscretionally bombing civilians and apartments, and just, when he turned to that tactic, then it became a humanitarian crisis in violation of every international law that ever was. Off the table. Why did the U.S. answer? Oh, we'll give you a ride. Remember in the early days? Thank God he never accepted the U.S.'s offer. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? I guess oligarchs protecting oligarchs. It's disturbing. And this be branded in history. You know, this March massacre of Putin. The world let this happen. It's heartbreaking. You know, you bomb the ship out after they send in how many cruise missiles and level Mariupol and kill how many innocent people? Why didn't, you know, the U.S. had the technology to take that ship out, the first missile that was flown. Why didn't they? It's a very good question. I think it's going to brand Putin in history. Excuse me, Biden in history, just like his predecessor, Trump, just like his predecessor, Obama, just like Bush. 20 years of Putinism growing up, and they just not allowed him, they emboldened him. His march through Georgia, where Georgia went down there. How about his gassing in Syria? You know, how about Crimea? I was over there in 2015. Well, the ironies of this are incredible. I named it the Battle of STEEL-GRAD. It's unbelievable. He learned his lesson, and you could tell that people are talking in Russia like this because of tas pravda. Once you have absolute power comes absolute corruption. United States, Joseph Google, they sequester all my work, you know, anything new, Radio Free Weber. Radio Free. I'm going to have to find a new platform. I needed Radio Free United States. We've got to find one because I don't have one. They've gone after me. We're down to this, talking like this. There's a bake sale, the Red Cross. I'm going in there. We're going to have to go down. I'm going to have a bake sale. We're going to have to go down to the very fundamental grassroots. That's what they're doing in Russia. They're talking like this because Putin kills you if you stand up. Same thing in the United States. Ask Julian Assange. Ask Aaron Swartz. Ask Megan Rice. Ask Michael Hastings. Same thing here. Let it be branded in history. As I said it, You know, I was listening to Khrushchev's granddaughter talk. She's, oh no, he won't go in. I'm like, yes he will, yes he will. Have you not been paying attention to Putin? He's a monster. And the U.S. allows it? Let this be branded in history. That the world stood down and let this incredible massacre happen. In violation of every international law there ever was. It's disgraceful. Long live Ukraine. To the soldiers, including the Russian soldiers that were conscripted and sent to their graves. They didn't even know what they were. Not the ones that raped people and those pieces of shit that, I mean, I saw some footage of looted Chernobyl. This is one of the most historic battles, and yesterday was a historic day. I was so depressed yesterday, and I watched live the press conference on DW. I watched it in Germany, and they translated it, and I'm like, I almost started to cry. You know what kind of slaughter it would have been? You know, Russian troops too. You know, both. Well, it has been. That'll be branded in history. The Battle of STEEL-GRAD. Talk about it. We always think that history won't represent. We're different this time. We never are. Long live Ukraine. Because you bomb out buildings and level them doesn't mean you win. That was proven by Hitler. It's incredible ironies. Amazing irons. Crimea, that's where Hitler was. Like that, you know, Dorothy Day was there when World War started. You know, let this be a watershed moment in history to all imperialists, all oligarchs who looted and stole and the repressors of the First Amendment, Joseph Goebbels, Google, and crew. I'm not going down with the call third strike. I'll go down swinging. I'll go down and you'll think you won, but you're not putting my toothpaste back in the tube. Or, you know, Rothschild's pigeon. I flipped a soup can in the air and I knocked that Rothschild's pigeon out of the air. Is that it there, Rothschild? He called in his cousins this time from Washington.